Hello everyone, Tone here, and today I wanted to showcase a build in Brogue that I played last week. This came from the weekend contest last week. It was weekend contest number 500, which is the first one I played in a while, and it was quite a seed. So this state that we're in right now is starting at D26 after I just picked up the amulet. So we're going to be looking at a build that can take on the deeper depths, the quote-unquote extended game of Brogue. So how this works, I would broadly classify this as a reaping build. So reaping comes from the Ring of Reaping, and what reaping does is when you do damage to enemies, it recharges your rings, or I'm sorry, it recharges your staves and your charms based on the damage you deal. So for every point of damage you do, you get from 0 to the enchantment value of the ring back. So this is a +2 ring, so you'll get 0 to 2 turns per point of damage you deal. So if you do 10 damage to an enemy, you'll gain between 0 to 30 turns, or I'm sorry, 0 to 20 turns for this ring at +2 of charge back on all of your wands and staves. So like this says, your blinking staff has 3 charges, so you have to recharge 1, and it says it recovers a charge in approximately 250 turns. If I hit someone for 10 damage when I have that +2 ring, I potentially shave off 20 turns off of that, and now it only takes 230 turns to recharge that charge. So that's kind of how that works. And the same thing with charms. This recharges every 527 turns. You shave off turns off of that. So 0 to 20 turns doesn't sound a lot, but 10 damage also isn't a lot. So if you fight something, you're going to hit them multiple times, or you just do more damage, you can shave off a lot of time on those items. So reaping is kind of a build on its own in my eyes, or it's kind of a build archetype, I guess I would call it, because it has some very powerful synergies. So the most common way I think you realize a reaping build is, if you want to narrow that down, is kind of big weapon reaping charms. So your big weapons, the ones I would normally be looking at are like warhammers and broadswords. They do the most damage. Broadswords actually do more damage than warhammers per turn, I believe. But warhammers do the most upfront damage. But also, like, you could do good enough on any of the other big weapons, so war pikes, war axes, and such. And then charms, because charms, like wisdom rings, are probably better for staff builds in general, but charms are only recharged by the reaping ring. So, and charms are very, very powerful in this game. So to be able to reduce the cooldown on them and increase how often you can be using them is just a very strong thing you can do. So, and to narrow that down even more, this is a WarHammer Reaping Invisibility build. And the reason that works so well is that Warhammers do a lot of sneak attack damage, and Invisibility allows you to realize that. Now, you could probably run a pretty good... I'm not going to say probably. You can run a strong Reaping build with, like, Broadsword, Reaping, and let's say, like, Haste, Charm, Protection, Charm. Something like that would be very, very, very strong. But this is a really cool version of this, is the Warhammer Reaping Invis. And then the more support items you can tack onto that, the better it gets. So Haste is incredible with invisibility. It lets you move fast. So when you have invisibility, how this works is it turns you invisible. And if an enemy ends up 2 or more tiles away from you, they forget where you are. Their AI switches from hunting to wandering. That's all based on your stealth range, and normally it's 3 times your stealth range is when they automatically switch back, no matter how recently they were hunting you. For invisibility, it becomes 2 times, and it sets your stealth range to 1. So if you can gain distance from enemies with invisibility, it means you can just reset their AI from hunting you to wandering around, which is really strong. So haste allows you to do that because you move faster than most enemies, so you can create that gap. Blinking is also very good at that because you can immediately create distance. So those synergize extremely well with invisibility for this build. Other things we have here, let's see. Let's just go through the list. We have the WarHammer. So Warhammers, they do big damage but they're slow. So enemies get an extra turn on you when they when you hit them. So it kind of evens out compared to other weapons. Well, it only evens out because Warhammers also provide knockback, so enemies spend that turn closing distance on you. But if it's a pack of enemies in like a corridor, there's gonna be like an enemy right behind another one. You don't get that knockback, so like this isn't as good against like packs. In particular, like raids get a ton of attacks on you when you hit them with this. If there's like another wraith behind them, because you don't get the knockback and they're fast. Yeah, you end up taking a lot of hits in a situation like that. But if you combine a Warhammer with haste and you get that knockback, now Warhammer you can swing it every turn because you get extra actions from haste, and then enemies spend their turn walking back to you. So you essentially never get hit because you hit, knock back the enemy, they spend their turn walking next to you, you hit them again. It's an incredible combo on its own. But to combine that with invisibility and the reaping, this becomes very good. Splint mail +3. This is pretty good armor. This is great for most of the game. It's great for dealing with like phantoms. And like just having AC is pretty good. Invisibility means that the low or the poor stealth radius of Splint isn't that important. But also our invisibility charm right now only lasts for 12 turns. So I'll probably actually not even be wearing the Splint a lot, just so I can reduce my stealth radius when the invisibility is not up. We'll figure that out. Clairvoyance. I like Clairvoyance a lot on these depths past D26 because it gives you a radius where you can see through walls, you can see through grass. That means you're not going to miss secret rooms. It basically lets you explore faster, and you're basically looking for exits and lumenstones when you're past here, or you're looking for like chasms so you can just get deeper. And this just like greatly helps how fast you can do that. Telepathy is another great way to do that because enemies reveal tiles for you. So charms of telepathy are pretty sweet. So I actually have 2 reaping rings on this build. I have a +4 and a +2. You can wear them both together and they count as a +6. I got some consumables. If you're going for a mastery dive, which is what I was originally planning on here, because I did this during the weekend contest, which you only have a few days to do, and I didn't have enough time to, really even attempt 25 lumenstones. This is great just because getting past floors is how you get to D40, which is how you get a mastery win. Which is what I ultimately did on this build. I got a really cozy mastery win. I used like no resources. I was like never threatened the whole way down. It was really nice. And then, so I backed this up because I knew I wasn't going to have time, but I was kind of building for a 25 lumenstone. So that's what we're going to try now, I guess. Levitation is pretty nice with stealth or invisibility builds. It means that because if you're levitating over chasms or water or lava, and you have a stealth radius of like 1 or 2, nothing will ever be able to see you because the enemies won't travel over those spaces. So levitation is really good for that. I don't know how much we can really leverage that with, 12 turns of invisibility, but it's there. This is also probably pretty good for a mastery dive because levitation makes you immune to water enemies. And I'm playing on Brogue version CE, the community edition, 1.10.1. As of 1.10, you can fall from chasms into deep water. That used to not be possible. So diving down a chasm to do your mastery attempt and landing in a Kraken Lake would probably be game ending for a lot of builds. But levitation means you can just ignore that, which is nice. Fire immunity really tips the scales when you're fighting dragons. Great stuff. Telepathy is awesome. Like I mentioned before, it just helps you scout the levels a lot better, and it also lets you know where threats are. Staff of Poison. I've been using this on this build to deal with revenants and actually also jellies, oddly enough, because I never found a protect weapon scroll. So it's actually poisoning acid jellies and then punching them to death. Being able to recharge this has been pretty good. I don't think it's going to serve us that well beyond this point. So I could probably drop that, but it's in my inventory for now. Blinking, we already talked about. Tunneling. So tunneling, it's pretty nice for just creating new paths for you. We can recharge it pretty often with reaping, which is nice. But in particular, Tunneling allows you to zap yourself with staves or wands, and we'll probably definitely demonstrate that. Basically, if you have a... How do we want to show this? Like, look here. See how there's like a one tile thing here? So if I tunnel to the edge of the map, which is going to be right here, and then it starts as rock. If you tunnel it a second time, it turns into crystal, which reflects. If you have 2 tiles deep, so imagine this tile was dug out, so I'm here and here, and then you stand on this tile, so there's 1 tile between you and the crystal, and then it's all walls on both sides of you, like a corridor. The reflect will hit you back 100% of the time. So tunneling is very good at creating that situation. It's very uncommon otherwise. You just have to get lucky and find like a nice crystal formation. So you can zap yourself with invisibility or other staves, but invisibility is the big one that I had, very reliably if you have a tunneling staff. And that's good because invisibility gives you a lot of turns of invisible, especially compared to potions and the charms and such. So that's pretty sweet. What else did we have here? If I want to teleport, that's just good for getting, dangerous enemies away from you. +3 Ring of Regeneration. Awesome find for this. That means we can try and heal up in between combat if like we get hit at all. +3 Ring of Awareness. I cannot understate, or I guess overstate. I cannot overstate how useful this is. This is such a good ring. So especially on D27 plus, if you have a +3 Ring of Awareness, even +2, but +3 is a little better at it, you just do not have to search at all, which that helps you so much in the nutrition game. But it's also really nice to get through levels fast, not have to worry about maneuvering around enemies and having traps around. Because this gives you free searches, so you'll just like find traps like left and right. It's so good. So we have the invisibility charm. We already talked about this. This will turn us invisible for 12 turns. I have 2 haste charms. I like haste charms because they have pretty low cooldowns. So like even on like any random like combat build or almost any build in general, like a +2 to +4 or 5 haste charm is going to be really valuable. You'll get to use it like every floor and whatever situation you need to. It's nice. I also have a negation charm here, which I think actually isn't that useful. So this will negate our haste, telepathy, invisibility, which will be annoying. So we can't really use it when we have those. It'll, neuter dragons a bit. It'll kill golems. It's all right. I've used it a couple of times on this run to deal with revenants, which are immune to weapons. So I was using poison for them and then negation for it, but we probably honestly don't need this D27 plus, so we might drop it here. That's some like really niche uses, but I don't really see us using it that much. So that's kind of the build here. So I got to D26. So I was playing this run hoping for a commute, because like the ideal way to play this is to pump all your points into a WarHammer or your big weapon. That's just a really good way to get through the game. It means you don't have to use your consumables as much because you have a good item. And then you commute that onto like a charm, which like they're good like once they're at high level. So the ideal was to put points into like the WarHammer and then commute it onto the invisibility charm. An extra bonus is every time you enchant this, the strength requirement goes down. And then you get a quarter of an enchantment point for every point of overstrength you have over this requirement. So that's, like you can end like if you start re-enchanting this again, you can end up with like a 5 strength requirement WarHammer, and you end up getting like an extra like 2 free enchantment points out of that, which is really nice. But there were no commutation altars on this in this dungeon, and I started like just running the numbers in my head. I wasn't doing like serious math. I was just kind of estimating. I was like, I'm on like D22, and I'm not seeing any commutation altars, so I started stashing my my enchant scrolls instead of putting the WarHammer, just like in case I didn't get one, I could distribute them freely. And I ended up on D26 with a +7 WarHammer, a +2 invisibility charm, but I think everything else is where they are now. And then I had 5 enchantment scrolls. So I was originally planning on putting them all into invisibility and haste, But I ended up putting 2 points into Warhammer, and this is why. So the big threats you're going to be seeing past D27 are tentacle horrors and dragons. So tentacle horrors, and how about we bring up a stat block for them? Let's bring up good old paint. So here is the tentacle horror. They have 120 health, good defense and accuracy, big damage. They regen quickly, normal speed. So the big thing here is their health, 120 for us this run at least. And then dragons are the other one. Dragons have 150 health, even more defense, higher accuracy, damage range 15 to 60. If you like just get a really unlucky roll, they can do so much damage. A Juggernaut Dragon will one-shot pretty much any character, because they could potentially do 120 damage. They do double damage. And you just... The number of seeds where you can even have more health than that is just very, very rare. I guess you could have like a protection charm or something that might help with that. But yeah, these guys can potentially do a lot of damage. The other notable things about dragons, just for people who don't know, they move fast. Movement delay is only 50, so they move twice per turn. And they attack slow, so they go off balance after they make an attack, whether that's melee or using their dragon breath. And yeah, they have dragon breath, which doesn't have to roll to hit. It does about as much damage as their normal attack, I believe. And it'll put you on fire. These guys are terrifying. So with the Warhammer build, the other thing that we need to note is that we're playing around sneak attacks with Warhammer Invisibility. Sneak attacks do ×3 damage, which is fantastic. And they don't have to roll to hit. So with a Warhammer build, like your enchantment on your weapon for accuracy isn't that important. For Warhammer Invisibility, I should say, for like a stealth Warhammer build. So I was looking at my damage at +7 and just kind of seeing like, I know around like +6 usually you can get guaranteed hits on horrors or kills on horrors, because I've done that math before when I played stealth Warhammer. I knew dragons I would not be able to. And so you hit a dragon, they stay alive, and now like the fight's a little more sketchy. So I was like, let me take a closer look at this. So I was looking at the numbers, and I actually have those handy here, so let's pull them up. Oh, you guys are getting it all today. We got Paint, we got Excel. This is some classic stuff. So I just made this table. So here's our enchantment value. 0. I just have it up to 12 here. I mean, your enchantment can go way higher than that. And this is in... So what some people may not know is... And actually, I should pull up my actual game to demonstrate this. So this is a +9 Warhammer. The Warhammer bears an intrinsic enchantment of +9, and it carries an additional bonus of +2 because of your excess strength. So I mentioned this before. Every point of strength, we have 19 strength over our strength requirement, which is 11. You get plus 0.25 additional effective enchantment. So 19 minus 11, I have 8 points of strength over that. 8 increments of 0.25 is a +2 bonus. So this is actually acting as a +11 weapon. So that's important to know. But it doesn't round. So if I was strength 20, this would be an 11.25 effective enchantment. So keep that in mind as well. That's why I have increments here. And then Warhammers do 25 to 35 damage. I don't know if they have any clumping. Clumping is a factor in Brogue. Like you saw that dragon stat block said clumping 5. That means it actually rolls 5 dice to get that damage, which means it's actually incredibly rare to hit that 60 max damage because it has to roll max on 6 different dice. So the higher the clumping, the more the distribution of damage actually like focuses on the center. So I don't know if there's any clumping on the WarHammer. I'm assuming there isn't. So this is 25 to 35 damage. And if that's rolled on 1 dice, then there's a 1 in 11 chance that any of these numbers hit. So it's almost 10% per number, a little bit less than that. So what this table is showing is this is the enchantment value of our weapon, effective enchantment, that counts our strength bonus as well. Then that turns into a multiplier. Every enchantment you get times 1.065 bonus as a multiplier to your damage. So that scales exponentially, and actually exponentially, not like the other things that people call exponential that are actually like quadratic or cubic or whatever. This actually scales exponentially, but the base is pretty small. And then here's how much damage we're doing at each damage roll at that damage. So before we said a +7 WarHammer. Let's bring that up again. So this would have been +7 before I enchanted it twice, a +9, which was a 13. Would have been a 13 strength requirement. The strength requirement goes down every time you enchant it. So 19 minus 13, we're looking at 6 overstrength. So that is 1.5 effective bonus. So at base +7, that becomes 8.5 bonus effective enchantment for us there. So to go back to this, we find our 8.5 on this table. So what I'm looking for, see, I already instantly kill tentacle horrors on a sneak attack. Sneak attacks do ×3 damage. Tentacle horrors have 120 health. Remember that stat block. That means we have to do 40 damage, which is ×3, to kill a tentacle horror in 1 hit. At 0 enchantment, even if we always hit due to sneak attacks never missing, the most damage I can do is 35 on my roll, and that gets multiplied by 3. That's only 105 damage. That never kills a tentacle horror. And then you have to deal with a tentacle horror who knows where you are, because you've revealed yourself when you attack them. You're no longer hidden. So we need to up our damage, and we do that with enchantments. So this blue shading is when you're guaranteed to kill a tentacle horror. So on a low roll, that doesn't happen until 7.5 enchantment here. And that's why I said around +6 is when you're going to be here, because then with effective enchantment, you get close to this. Now, you might be fine with having to roll a 29 on your damage roll to get the kill them. You can get by with +5.2. But then 1, 2, 3, 4 out of 11 times, that is I did that math wrong. That is a 36% chance every attack that you don't kill the tentacle horror, and then you have to deal with fighting a tentacle horror. So that decision is based on how good the rest of your build is at dealing with that. Now with our build, we have blinking, we have haste. We can back up and reset their AI and then reapproach and get another sneak attack. And so you just do that twice. But that takes a lot of time, especially when you're dealing with multiple, like large packs of enemies. If you're fighting one enemy, you can do that all day. It is no problem. But if you're just fighting like packs of enemies on busy floors, it can be a problem. So I like to be able to have a guaranteed or near guaranteed kill. So we were at 8.5 when I had that enchanted at +7 before I decided what to do with those 5 enchant scrolls. Tentacle horrors are no problem. On a low roll of 25, I'm doing 42 damage. I'm actually not sure how the rounding on this works, by the way. I think it might truncate, and I'll tell you why in a moment. But I'm only killing dragons at this enchantment level when I roll a 30. So rolls of 25, 26, 27, 28, and 29 do not kill dragons. And dragons are kind of the nasty ones too to not kill because they have a ranged attack. So they can like dragon fire you like right away if they want to, which can be nasty. Another thing to note about sneak attacks is when you hit something with a sneak attack, it puts them off balance for a turn, which is very useful. So that's 5 out of 11, 45% of the time that we don't kill a dragon and we have to deal with the dragon. That just did not seem suitable to me. So I was like, all right, what if we enchant this some more? So if I put one more enchant into that weapon, we end up with a +8 base weapon, and we get another quarter point strength bonus because it reduces the strength requirements at 12 now. So we're going from 8.5 to 9.75. I've reduced that to 3 out of 11 that we don't insta-kill the dragon on our sneak attack hit. Down to 27%. That's a lot better. I was like, all right, well, what if I put another enchantment point into it? We're effectively adding 1.25. Because now we're at base 9. And strength requirement 11. That's the state I'm actually at right now, so it's effective of enchantment 11. So this gets us down 49.98 damage on our low roll. So I assumed this rounded in our favor at some point, but I'll just say I attacked a dragon once and it didn't die. So I don't know where in the process that doesn't work, but close, but no cigar for us here. We are 0.02 of a point away from instant killing here, it seems. Now, another thing is I only had 19 strength. 20 is like more average for a run. If I had one more point of strength, this bumps us up into this 50 damage, and we would be 100% chance to kill dragons. But as of now, 1 in 11 chance, so that's 9% of the time we don't kill. Which, if you guys have never been this deep, there are dragons, a lot of them. 9% will come up more often than you think. So I would have liked that an extra point of strength that pushes up here. And just this caveat again, I don't know if the rounding happens at various stages. Maybe these numbers are just like a little fuzzier than these are. So maybe this actually doesn't do it. I know this doesn't do it because I saw it happen with my own eyes. But this is a pretty good idea of how these mechanics work. And also, like I said, I don't know if there's... I'm assuming there's no clumping with the WarHammer, so it's 1 in 11 to hit each of these damage values, but that could be incorrect as well. So it'd be great if anyone knows, like, shoot me a DM or put a comment below or something. I would definitely love to know. But that's how I ended up at +9. Is I wanted to get this our dragon kill percentage way up from where it was. So those 2 enchantment points got us from, what was it? 8.5. So I had 5 out of 11, 45% chance of a, like, basically we only kill a dragon half the time to almost every time. Huge value there, huge value. So that was the idea behind that. Let's go ahead and bring up our stat blocks here again. And I actually want to look at our charms now. These stat blocks, by the way, are from the wiki, which gets out of date sometime, but I'm pretty sure these 2 stat blocks are correct. So I have an invisibility charm. So this is like the other like core part of our build other than WarHammer and Reaping. So let me put up a table for the invisibility charm. So enchantment level, invisibility duration, recharge time. Well, these recharges actually aren't too bad. The duration's very low. Another cool thing about this build that I didn't appreciate before I played it was haste doubles this duration. You actually get a lot of time out of this. And don't worry, we're almost through the theory. We'll get to the gameplay and actually get to see that in action. Because I feel like you actually need to see how all these pieces work together to get a good feel for that. and how that works, and like how recharging with reaping like plays into it. So I really wanted to get this up to like +7 or +8. There's variance to reaping because you can actually get like 0 recharge back when you hit something, or you can get a huge number. You're more likely to get somewhere in between. I had +6 reaping, so, well, interestingly enough, so if we go back to that table, I'm not going to pull it up, but I was doing, what, about 50 damage minimum, we'll just say, on round numbers. So I can do, with +6 reaping, I will recharge from anywhere from 0 to 50 times 6, which is 300 turns on a hit. So we average closer to like 150. So I knew I wanted to get my recharge into that range. And that's on a sneak attack, of course. And that's capped by their health actually as well. So horrors are going to recharge it a little less and such. And then I also, there's the thing where like if you end up running out of your cooldown but don't get to hit something for some reason, how long do you have to wait to like just survive till your invisibility charm is back up? Because it's kind of essential to our build. I didn't want that time to be too high, so like 50, 70 turns like would have been great. I end up at +5, which is 100 turns recharge. That's not terrible. I think at +4, even though this 10-turn duration with haste charms, I think would have been fine. 152, like it was feeling, this drop off from 152 to 104 just felt good, so that's why I went with that. I think there's a few ways you could like redistribute the enchants here a little differently. And then the other charm I had was haste, which, let me pull up that table. So here's the haste charm. Oh, the haste charm is actually slower than the invis charm. I never knew that. It feels easier to get value out of a haste charm on most builds. So I have a +1 and a +2 one. I think I would have definitely put +3 here somehow if I didn't have 2 charms, but I figured with the +1 backup, wasn't as important. So at +2, we have a 348 recharge time. I don't think the haste is super important. And we have the backup, so I wasn't too concerned about that. But you can see, I guess we never recharge that on first hit. Well, no, we do. Oh, when I did my calculation earlier, 50 damage, I didn't factor in the sneak attack. So it's actually 0 to 900 when we hit a dragon and kill it. We're getting capped by their health. So for tentacle horrors, we're actually looking at, what would that be? 0 to 720 recharge. So yeah, when you're looking at those numbers, we're really good chances of recharging our invis charm at 100 turns. It's like 1 in 7 for tentacle horrors that we don't. It's even less for dragons, like 1 in 9 that we don't. And for this charm, it's like quarter to a third of the time we don't, depending on what we're fighting and whatnot. So that was kind of the stuff I was balancing as I was looking at our numbers here. But yeah, with those sneak attacks and +6 reaping, huge recharge. Stabs, by the way, except for obstruction and blinking, recharge all the way in 500 turns. So we're pretty much fully recharging our stabs except for blinking, like constantly. And then blinking is 1,000 turns, so that's not far behind. Our blinking has 4 charges on it, so we get charges back like, it's only 250 turns. So we get them back very reliably as well. So really strong build, right? Like, I think looking at those numbers just like shows you like, wow, we get lots of reaping back. Like, you can keep recharging these charms. Like, awesome stuff. Now, I've tried to put builds like this together before. It's actually really hard to pull these together because there aren't a lot of enchants to go around for these builds. Typical seed has, I think, average is 14.9 enchants. So you can 14 to 15 is what you're going to get. You might, if you're like lucky, you'll get, native enchantments on the items you're using. So a lot of things will spawn between +0 and +3 enchantment. So if you get like a +3 WarHammer, a +3 Reaping Ring, and a +3 Charm, that's like 9 enchantments right there that you can use. So I actually the first weekend contest of CE 1.10, I had a build similar to this, and I actually never finished the run. I still have it saved, oddly enough. We should finish it sometime, but I noticed that we weren't going to have enough charms to make this, or enough enchants to make this build work. It's very tight on enchants with how many you can put into the Warhammer, the Reaping Ring, and like your charms to actually like get something that you can, like an engine that feeds itself and works. So, how this build came together, the Warhammer was +0, but I found it early. I got a +1 invisibility charm, a +2 Reaping Ring that I got from a vault because I already had the Warhammer and the Invis, and I was like, let's shoot for the moon and see if we can pull this build together. And then I found a +4 Reaping Ring in another vault. So that's huge because this means I didn't have to use enchants on Reaping Rings at all. I had +6 Reaping, which is probably more than you need, to be honest. I had that from the start. And that actually allows me to enchant my charms less, which is nice because we get to recharge them faster when we hit things. So then I was just able to enchant the Warhammer and the Invis and the haste charms and stuff. Actually, I didn't end up enchanting the haste charm at all. But that's how this build came together, and it seems to work pretty well. So let's test it out. We have talked enough. So I'm on D26. I just picked up the amulet. That means we're being chased by the warden. We have some decisions to make. Full pack. What's on the ground? Curse scale mail, paralysis potion. Paralysis is really nice with warhammers for the sneak attacks, but I don't think we're going to be bringing it. Shattering is pretty nice with invis and stealth builds because you can turn the walls around you into crystal so you can see more of the map. I don't think it's as useful when we only get 12 turns of invis. But I would bring those if we could, but we can't. Am I standing on anything? I am not. +3 ring of wisdom. It's just not gonna help with our build. Telepathy we want for sure. There's another levitation potion on the ground, and there's a blinking staff on the ground. I actually ditched this blinking staff at one point, and then I went up and grabbed it before deciding to go down here. I feel like it's not necessary with the blinking /4, but it seems like it would be a really good safety valve. So it looked like there was 2 items on the ground that I wanted to bring with us. The telepathy potion and the blinking staff. So let's go ahead and drop. I think levitation is less useful with blinking because you can get out of swamps easier. Or not swamps. The swamps would be mean bogs, but you can get out of like lakes and stuff easier. I'm gonna drop 1 levitation pot. I'm gonna ditch the negation charm, I think. Let's go ahead and do that. So drop negation charm. Telepathy potion. If you drop something while you're standing on an item, it'll swap them, which is nice. So we'll drop a levitation potion here. Cool. So this is our build. And I guess we'll eat this food on the way down. And that was a detect magic potion. I'll show you a cool trick with that as we get over there. I have clairvoyance on right now. This has not been ID'd yet. I don't think I ever managed ID it, so I don't know what its enchantment value is. Oh, by the way, I missed a enchant scroll on this run. I got 13 enchants overall. There's actually 14. There's one in a secret room, apparently, that I had missed. So we could actually be a little bit stronger. This glow is the warden chasing us. We know they are nearby. I think we just go ahead and eat this. I was considering just hanging out here until my nutrition got to hungry to ID this clairvoyance ring. It's probably the optimal play. I'm not going to do it here right now. We honestly probably don't need this clairvoyance ring. It's going to be an early drop. Let's go ahead and eat this food. We're not hungry, but I don't want to waste inventory space on it. Let me go grab this. So check this out. I have detect magic is showing us these blue and red glyphs next to our items. I have that on everything except for this one of invisibility. I haven't detect magic this. Something that's really cool about detect magic and wands, I don't know if a lot of people know, is an empty wand is non-magic. So once I run out of charges on this teleport wand, this blue symbol will turn into a yellow hyphen. So it actually tells you when your wands are empty, which is really nice. Which means you don't really have to ID the wands and worry about like accidentally using them when they're empty if you use detect magic on that. So I'm going to use this detect magic. And now it shows me the red glyph next to the invisibility. That's because it's technically a malevolent wand. But we're going to use it for good. And I'll know when it's out of charges because this symbol will disappear. So using detect magic on wands is really nice. And detect magic does nothing on D27 plus. The only items that generate beyond D26 are food and lumenstones. So there's no use for it. Okay. D27. I'm gonna swap out clairvoyance for awareness. Awareness is gonna be super good. Did we already just find a trap? Did that just show up? You'll see how useful this is. I'm not gonna search at all. Otherwise, traps can be really dangerous down here. And then I think I'm going to go ahead and use telepathy here for demonstration's sake. It's probably worth saving if we want to get 25 lumenstones, but I think it'll be good for demonstration. And plus, I'm probably going to have to drop something here at some point to pick up a lumenstone on this floor. Maybe I'll drop poison. Poison was actually pretty good for killing a dragon on that one low roll where I don't kill them, but I don't think it's worth holding on quite that long. You know what? Let's not use telepathy for now. I hope that doesn't get me killed. It's really dark down here. The other thing I would love to have is like a ring of light. And actually, this is where I want to remove my splint mail. So let me turn on my stealth radius. Oh, you can't even see it. Stealth range 12. That means in light it's 24. It's going to be very large, and I can only see like a few tiles out most of the time. So enemies will see us before we even know they're there, which is really dangerous. If I take off my splint mail, I lose all my AC, but our stealth range drops by quite a bit. It's going to be nice. And you can see the stealth range here. I'm actually going to turn that off because it's not pretty. Secret door, awareness, again, doing work. I feel like there should be a secret. There's a lot of dead space around here. I'm going to search. Okay, I just did a manual search there and found a secret door. And what do you know? We have a lumenstone. Pack is too full. I just use a telepathy potion. These first few floors are usually not too dangerous, and there's not a lot of enemies, so telepathy is lesser value because you don't get to reveal as many tiles with it. I really feel like I should hold that if we want to go for, like, seriously attempt 25 lumenstones. So I think the things we can probably drop. Honestly, I wonder how good this clairvoyance ring actually is. This is like +4. It would be pretty nice. How far am I from IDing this? 1,000 turns. Would I use a +2 clairvoyance ring? Well, I'd have to rock like awareness and clairvoyance and then swap both rings out. It's tough to say. The thing is, I feel like I'm never going to ID this. And if I don't ID this, it's only counts as +1, which I don't care about. That's worth dropping. Teleportation, I almost didn't mind dropping. Poison, I'm strongly considering dropping. I kind of want fire immunity, telepathy, levitation, descent. The splint mail. The second blinking staff isn't, I think it's kind of droppable, but it's also just like really good emergency. The other thing this does, this staff teleports 10 spaces. This one only teleports 6. So it's actually kind of nice if I need to like get away from something, but there's only like lava or like a chasm somewhere to like. Sometimes one staff will not drop you into lava, which is nice. Kind of like a niche little use of having 2 of those. And we're just gonna ditch the clairvoyance ring. Feels crazy, but I just have too many rings. I don't think I'm gonna use it. So we now have a lumenstone. Oh, what do you know? I haven't even seen an enemy yet. D27 can be really quiet at times, actually. I'm getting too close to the lava isn't great, because enemies will be able to see you. We need to keep moving because of the warden. Should I search here? It doesn't seem like anything's there. I should have went for the full search if I spent 4 turns, but I figure with awareness... Oh, I gotta watch out for him in traps. That's a good point. It's a nice reminder. Ooh. That's actually really dangerous. This is the problem with not having telepathy. It's funny that the first enemy we see, we didn't even see the enemy. That happens. This is like one of the things I was going to say I'm concerned about on this build for getting 25 lumenstones is that once I run out of telepathy, I think we're going to run into problems. And that exemplifies that extremely well. So I think what we have to do here... There's actually like a world where they max roll damage on that, and I max roll damage on the burning, and we get killed in like 1 hit. Just kind of why I have fire immunity. Alright, we need to pop invisibility. We're now invisible, which means the dragon should forget about us. I'm going to pop haste. We're going to equip our other reaping ring. Shall we wait till I get closer? There's just traps around here? Nah, let's just go. So that was our combat switch. That took like 2 turns? 2.5 turns? I don't know how the haste charm comes into play, but we used a turn on invis. We procced haste, and then we swapped a ring. Okay, the dragon is wandering. Let's see if it wanders into us. So you got to predict where they're going to move and give them leeway to move wherever they might want to move. So I moved down here because I knew he was either going to move here or here. You don't want to move right next to him because if they move into you, then they get an attack instead. The dragon is wandering. We actually die here if I don't hit this guy. So let's hope we kill. So note, invisibility charm 2%, haste charm 0%. Blink staff 4/4. You dispatched the dragon, catching it unaware. And now you're no longer on fire. So yeah, all my charms are ready. 0 to 100 on the haste, 2 to 100 on the invis. You don't want to get hit by fire like that, but in a nutshell, that's how this build works. So, due to that problem right there with invisibility, or not with invisibility, with not having sight range all your enemies and getting hit from out of sight, that's a huge problem for this build. If there's another dragon there and they hit me, I can potentially die. Which makes me wonder, how does this build actually go for 25 lumenstones? Like, I'm probably supposed to hide right now and put on regen until my health recharges. I don't know if I'm always going to be able to do that. Interesting stuff. You deal with the warden chasing you. Okay. There's a bunch of stuff over here. Explosive tentacle horror. Explosive enemies give us trouble too. Liches are one of the other big things you need to consider this deep in the dungeon. Alright, well we have to proc invisibility here. The Revenant and the Lich are actually hunting. Proc haste. I'm gonna move away from the Warden. Okay, they swap back to Wandering because they're outside of my invisibility, forget range. I need to get Reaping on. Let's put that on over regen. And I kind of want it on... Let's move first. Just to get a few turns of awareness. I feel pretty good about that now. I'm going to swap on the other Reaping Ring. And then I really just want to kill this Lich. I'm actually just going to wait here. Turn. Now, we have to hit something before we run out here. Keep that in mind. I can't just, like, wait too long. So the Lich just moved, which means I get 2 turns. So I'm going to move into it. And kill it. By the way, the other thing to keep in mind... Your stealth range looks like this. So you want to approach something from the diagonals. I think they're technically outside of your stealth range in that case. I'm not sure how that works actually, because they can still see you on the diagonals, I think. But that's generally how you want to approach things with stealth. I wonder if it actually matters when your range is only 1, because I feel like they can actually see you on that range. I'm actually not sure about that. By the way, that hit on the Lich recharged my Invis charm, but not my haste charm. So I'm going to look up Lich right here. I'm curious how much health they have. 35 health. So pretty low health there. That recharges with +6 Reaping between 0 and 210 turns. So yeah, the haste charm recharges in 350, so I was never going to recharge that haste charm. Alright, well I need to kill the phylactery here. And I want to hit this golem as well. He's going to hit me back here, but that's okay. Actually, no, he goes off balance because I hit snuck attack him, so he doesn't. So golems, I don't consider them threats per se, but they're like the other defining monster. This deep in the dungeon, it's really golems, dragons, and horrors. So how golems work, they have like 400 health, I think, but they do little damage. They don't regen. So with Reaping builds, they are amazing just for like refilling your charms. All right. I need to haste to get away from this guy. Well, I actually don't need to. I can just fight him, but we may as well use haste. I mean, I may as well pop Invis again, because I'm going to fight the golem. See, he hit us, but he only did like 5% of our health. Hit the golem. Notice how he just ended up next to me? That's the haste WarHammer combination. I knocked him back, and then he moved forward again. So I could just hit him again forever like this, and he'll never get an attack in until he dies. My haste charm is at 65%. I'm going to go ahead and hit him again. The wizard hit me that time, which I should avoid, but I got charged up here. So I'm going to use my haste charges to back up. There's a chasm. If you're just going for a mastery, you want to jump down these chasms when they appear up here, these like hole traps. So awareness becomes really good for that. I actually didn't even have awareness equipped. And we were able to see that still. Let's throw awareness on, and let's throw regen on. We're still looking for the stairs. And another lumenstone. Alright, here's a dark priestess. I'm still hasted and still invisible. Oh, she's sleeping? Kinda wanna kill her? Let's do that. If she wakes up, that could be annoying. The rest of these guys I'm not too concerned about. Well, except I should probably raise my invisibility again. I could just blink away. You know how this build survives, actually? Which is probably actually harder to do at this top depth than deeper depths? Is you want to always stay invisible, which means you always want to be fighting something. I think that's the key to getting 25 lumenstones on this build. The problem that we were discussing earlier when I got hit by that dragon. With that in mind, haste, invis, I'm gonna smack you. Oh, I don't have my reaping on. Whoops. Well, I can't let him get away because I really need to recharge. Wandering again. I think he's... Where are you at? He's gonna move this turn, so I'm just gonna wait. Okay, he moved away. Let's kill this tentacle horror instead. So he didn't move that turn, so he's gonna move this next turn. We're hasted, and we're getting double turns. So 5% invis, 2% haste. Tentacle horrors from the spreadsheet earlier, we guaranteed kill here. Boom, dispatch the tentacle horror, catching it, and it's catching it unaware. Recharge all my charms. Yeah, that's how this build works, isn't it? We should be using blinking more then as well. Although I could like blink into lava, which would be scary. I should be doing stuff like this. It's gonna be harder to do on these top floors. The floors below will be much more crowded, and we'll be able to take advantage of that. I wonder if that means I do want to use telepathy early. There's a sleeping tentacle horror, so let me pop invis, pop haste. I'll blink into you. So 2 charges of blinking on a 4-charge staff requires 500 turns to recover. That's 50% of the charges, 1,000 turns total for blinking. So I'm gonna smack this guy. Oh, you were hunting me? I guess you saw me the turn I blinked. That means he could have attacked me that turn. I gotta be careful with that interaction as well. He's wandering now, so I'll back up and do it again. Cool, recharges everything. You know how I think this build wants to play? I think we always keep awareness on. And the +4 reaping. If we want to always be invisible. Because it might be too many turns to be swapping back and forth all the time. Or maybe not, it's only half a turn when you're hasted. Alright, well here's a golem. I'm gonna go ahead and equip my other reaping ring. Actually, I don't need it for a golem. So let's just apply invis and haste to re-up. And I'm just going to pop him. Everything's recharged. Go check what's in this room. Alright, so every depth has 3 lumenstones. Or, I'm sorry. The first 3 depths have 3 lumenstones. The next 5, I think, have 2. And then the rest of them have 1. So this depth has 3 lumenstones. Alright, so I'm not invisible and I'm not hasted. So this is an interesting point, because I could pop these, but if there's no enemies around, then I can't recharge them. But I know there's a golem out there, so I'm just going to head and use invis and haste. Assume I can recharge off the golem. Yo, where'd he go? Is there like a secret room up here? Did I just screw myself? We're not going to get to recharge. Because the warden blocked us. Okay, I shouldn't have done that. I was going to do it as an example. Like, ah, yeah, we know there's a golem out here. But apparently we don't. There you are. Damn, he popped up there. I wonder if there's another door up here. We'll actually be able to get to him pretty soon. I need the warden to move. I think we can still sneak attack this golem. Apply my other haste charm. Wandering Golem, Wandering Golem. I'm gonna let him move. Still wandering. Pop. Cool. Everything's recharged. That means we immediately throw on Invis and haste. Have awareness and reaping on. Move down and hit the golem, which I missed because he could see me still. I almost forgot we could miss. Getting so used to having invis. I have an 80% chance to hit him. All right, we're gonna ignore him. What is this Revenant gonna do? I should probably just poison them since I still have this staff. I think generally we can avoid the Revenants. 3 poisons is fatal for them though. Okay, defeated the golem. Revenant is wandering. I would like to blink past you. I need to find another enemy. Let's blink again. Oh my god, not that. Explosive enemy. If I had full health, would be okay. Like running through all my charges. Where is everything? Here we go. Hit the golem in its sleep. I didn't... Oh, I did sneak attack it, right? Doesn't feel like I did? We had to, though, right? Yeah, it's a lot of damage. I must have low rolled on reaping, and I only have +4 up right now, but I didn't get any of this blinking back, and my haste is barely up. Well, we should pop Invis. Our other haste charm. I'm getting punished for not having Splint on. So maybe we want that Splint on if we're going to be doing this. And let's blink again so I can break their hunting AI. And I will do that. Everything should be recharged. Except for the +1 haste charm, that's alright. Cool. I guess we can keep exploring. I'm still invisible. Let's pop haste here. Let's repop invis. You may as well repop them before each fight because we're going to get it back. Here's the downstairs as well. So we're going to throw on the other reaping ring just because we can. I'm going to walk down and kill the dragon. Everything's recharged. This blinking staff is still coming online. All right, let's put I'm gonna put awareness and regen on for a moment. So all of the problems that we're dealing with that I'm seeing in this build, which is that enemies can see us where we can't see them, get completely removed by telepathy. 4 telepathy potions will not be enough uptime to get 25 lumenstones. This build would be unbeatable if we had a telepathy charm. Oh my god, would that be insane. But we do not have a telepathy charm, so I think we need to kind of figure out how to make this build work by staying invisible all the time. And that's been hard here because there haven't been a lot of enemies, but I think as we get deeper in the dungeon, there'll be packs around like every corner and we'll be able to do something with that. Because otherwise, like any time we spend not invisible is a liability. And we don't get a lot of turns of non-invisibility. Like this is like dangerous because their stealth range when not invisible. It's probably not that bad without the splint, but yeah. Okay, golem. We have lich. How is the lich hunting me? I'm freaking invisible here, man. You're not allowed to hunt. What is up with that? I think he just recovered from his phylactery form. They all spawn as phylacteries on the map. They're always hunting. I think it's technically a bug. I hope they can't cast spells on you during this one turn hunting. I'm gonna take a screenshot of this as a potential way to explain that in case it is a bug. It would be total BS if they could like cast spells on you while you're invisible because they came out of their phylactery. But speaking of that, I'm gonna cast haste here. I'm gonna recast Invis. So he just moved at the same turn as me, so I get 2 turns here. I'm gonna move into him. Ooh, I'm gonna back up. This dragon's actually scary. I'm gonna move on a diagonal here. So when it was dragon, lich, and me, if I hit the lich, the dragon could have moved twice and attacked me. Because dragons move fast. Oh, and I actually need my reaping on. I probably need double reaping for this lich. Just to maximize our gains there. Invisibility is back online. Pop the golem. Step back. I think he'll break hunting this turn because he's 3 tiles away and I'm invisible. I'm going to recast Invis. Cast haste. You're still hunting. Wonder how that works. That doesn't make sense to me. I think that has something to do with probably because he moved closer and he's only 2 tiles away. I think they have to be outside of 2 tiles, outside of your double your stealth range. So they probably have to be 3 tiles away to break it. Alright, well I don't want to keep fighting this golem, so let's just like... I guess I can blink over here and we can kill this lich. Lich is all over the place. We need to pop or equip awareness. I think not having awareness on is a liability. Probably should have re-invised and hasted before attacking them. That's fine. I know there's stuff down here. Here's the golem again, so let's do that now. Oh, shoot, that's a dragon. That's a surprise. Well, back up. Blink. Blink really is nice with this build. So, I'm hasted. So the dragon's only going to be moving 1 tile per action I have, instead of the 2 that they normally would. Let's slap reaping on over awareness here and get that kill. Put awareness back on. Another dragon. So he has to move this way. So I can just wait here. Oh, did I low roll on that kill? I must have. My stuff isn't that high. Oh, this dragon's going away. What's funny about this build is you actually do stuff like start chasing dragons around. Come on, dude. Need to fight you. My Invis charm isn't up yet. Let's blink. Might make this work. Guess I gotta blink down here. I was gonna try and blink into this tall grass. That'll stop you. There we go. Ooh, I am no longer invisible. Perfect timing. Let's re-up the invis and the haste. Let's go get this lich. Invisibility is recharged, but haste isn't. Liches don't have enough hit points for that. I'm at 3 to 4 on this blinking staff. Identifying this was huge. Really glad I did that. I don't have awareness on. Put that on. I'm gonna search here. Felt like there might be something up here. So I'm no longer invisible or hasted. We cleared out the left side of this map pretty well, so I feel pretty comfortable with that, I think. Looks like the warden finally caught up. I saw his glow down there. Look how dark it is up here. 2 tiles. And monsters can definitely see us, because their stealth range is 7. It's now 14. So there was a room up here, it just wasn't connected down there. Any of these edges, by the way, are a great place to use tunneling and the one of invisibility. I just don't... I'd rather save my resources until later. These first few levels should be, like, not too bad. There is a chance that we just get, like, really unlucky. By the way, I feel like I should just look at every tile in case there's one lumenstone there. I should have looked at these as well. This is the edge. This is probably a wall. I'm not terribly concerned, but it sucks if you have to backtrack because you realize you missed a lumenstone. This area needs to be searched as well. I can probably tunnel over there and keep moving this way. There's a lumenstone off to the right. Okay, it's a sleeping dragon. Let's pop invis. Let's pop haste. Oh, my haste is still charging actually. Let me use blink to get closer. Double dragons. It's actually a little sketchy. Let me blink over here so I can approach them a bit safer. And let me throw on the other reaping ring. The rings are a little finicky on this build. Honestly, you could probably do pretty well just +4 reaping and then the awareness and then just swapping in regen when your health is low. But I'm just... if you're going for 25 lumenstones, you need like every ounce of help you can get. So like trying to minimize the chances that like I roll like a 0 on reaping and end up stuck with like no invisibility for 100 turns or whatever is the reason I'm doing that and making sure that I have both of these on. I don't mind it too much, and actually in CE 1.10 there's a quick swap. So if I hit W right now, it automatically swapped awareness in my reaping ring. It'll swap the last 2 things you did, whether those are weapons or armor or rings. So I should be able to take advantage of that pretty well. Yeah, killing 2 dragons is great for recharging. I should poke my head down here. I blink down just in case. If I do, there's a chance I need to blink right back up. I'm probably better off. It looks like this connects to this lumenstone. Oh, there's a door there. That's interesting. Infested golem hunting me. That's fine for now. So these are the kind of areas, especially if you're wearing like plate, a dragon will snipe you from like all the way over here. Right now my stealth radius is not that good, but most of the stuff on the other side of this lava lake, it's large enough that things can't see me. This lich can now see me. These yellow blocks are outside of my stealth radius, if you guys aren't familiar with that view. So because of this lich, I'm going to pop invis. And then haste again. I have awareness on still. Let me move down. Let's just get a better feel for what's going on here. Okay, I think I want to... Oh, that's interesting. Those actually don't connect. I want to blink up here. So something about blinking, it'll show you the white. If that's within the blinking range, but it'll go past this, and it kind of shows you the trajectory past that. So I want to make sure... Just be really freaking careful if you're blinking over lava. Make sure... Be very confident there's no phantoms around. Looks like that lich did not summon phantoms. What if they did? What if we bumped into a phantom? I'm like scared now. Maybe I should blink up here instead. Maybe like really unlikely, but that'd be terrifying. We're gonna pop this guy into lava. That should also regen us. I only have the +4, but that should be fine. Yeah, everything's recharged. Okay, we have a lumenstone, but my pack is full. So I need to drop something else. Did that poison staff prove its worth taking out that revenant earlier? Maybe it did. What did we drop? We dropped the clairvoyance already. I think since I'm trying to keep up my I think eventually we're gonna want 100% uptime on the invis charm. That both blinking stabs are gonna be pretty useful because we really need to be able to like travel quickly to get to enemies to keep recharging. So I wonder if I just drop a descent potion if we're going for 25 lumenstones anyways, which I don't know. It's pretty nice for not having to worry about finding the stairs. I think levitation's quite droppable. Although it is really nice for just like running over lava and stuff while you're invis. Telepathy is like essential. Like fire immunity is pretty useful. It also lets you do the lava thing again. I'm gonna drop the levitation. Splint mail might be droppable at some point. I'm not ready for it. Do we want to drink levitation? Probably not, because we want to take chasms down to the next floor. Let's grab the lumenstone. I'm gonna re-up on invis and haste. Wait for this lich to come up. Kill the lich. Kill the battle mage. I think haste just went from 35 to 37. Just a low roll on reaping. What's nice is with so many golems around, even if you low roll the reaping, you're gonna be able to recharge off a golem if you really need to. I may as well recharge stuff. So I'm about to hit more stuff. Let this guy come to me. Wait, this guy's still off balance? Yeah, I only hit him. I need to break. Alright, he's wandering again. Are you wandering that way? Are you sleeping? Wandering. You're grappling, so you're slow. Up and viz again. I'm out of haste. Would you guys? The golem seizes your leg. I got impatient there. I forgot I had the other haste charm too. I should have used that. I'm gonna use that now. This is an awkward place to get grappled because I can't blink away. I need this other golem to wander away so I can knock him back. Wait, you dispatch? Oh, I knocked him back and we traded places with the golem. And then I killed the golem while I was unaware. That's funny. Did this guy still have me grappled? No. Wait, I killed another golem catching it unaware? What's going on? I think there's just like a lot of golems here, and I thought the grappling one was next to me, but they were like swapping spots or something. I'm about to lose haste and invis. Oh, here's this guy again. Okay, I need speed bad. I need invis. I'm blank out of this guy. I have awareness on still. This guy's back to wandering. Is that enough to recharge? Ooh, no, I should have put on my other reaping. Anything down here? I need recharge. So we're just gonna blink into the yonder. Just really looking for enemies here. There's a lich. I'm gonna blink to get closer to the lich. Although I'm gonna go ahead and equip my other reaping ring first. Which is a little concerning because there's a paralysis trap somewhere in here, but it's probably not gonna be on the tile that I blink onto. I'm gonna try to blink right here. Did he move this turn? I could probably... I'm gonna blink right here so he has to move into me. I'm gonna put reaping on. I gotta pop haste again. I don't think it matters here. I want to get this blink off first. Oh shoot, there's grass right there. Okay, I guess I'm going to haste. I just wasted some invis turns. No longer invisible, but we get the kill. That was close. And my invis is recharged, my haste is not. So you can see it actually feels like we're just shy of like an enchant scroll or two of being able to maintain this like 100% invis play style. I was envisioning that we'd probably want to do to safely do 25 lumenstones. Now, you could do it like quote unquote not safely and just like hope you don't get like one shot by not one shot, but you could die in one turn to stuff out of your vision. Like multiple dragons could see you and hit you. It's not super likely, but it happens. I'm trying to like reduce the odds of something like that happening, but you can kind of play through and you probably have a decent chance of doing 25 lumenstones. Getting that other enchant scroll that I missed would have helped a lot on this build. Yeah, I don't know. It is what it is. We need awareness for sure. And then I guess I gotta find a golem or something to recharge. There's food. I don't think we even pick it up. The Amulet of Yendor reduces your nutrition by 80%. So we've used like no nutrition. But we'll probably find something else. I mean, I guess I may as well just eat it, even though it's so marginal. I think that's like a floor's worth of nutrition at least. There's another lumenstone. There's another surprise dragonfire. I don't even have haste. I think I need to blink away from this dude. Just to make sure we reset. Alright, he's wandering. So dragons move 2 tiles. Move here. Perfect. Sneak attack. He's dead. That should have recharged pretty much everything. Well, everything is really... I need 1 haste up and then my invis. So that's good enough. I pop haste right now? Nah, I should wait till... Okay, I can use it now that there's a golem here. Haste, I may as well reuse invis. Sneak attack the golem. Did he just go the other way? Did I kill it? Can I kill golems? No. What's my damage again? I'm plus 11. I could do 69 damage. Times 3. Like 200. They have like 400 health, don't they? Golem. Yeah, 400 health. Maybe that was one of the ones I was fighting earlier and didn't finish off. Surprised by that. Or maybe it's still snuck away. Alright, well, all my stuff is recharged pretty much. Sleeping Tentacle Horror. Go ahead and put on Reaping. So I'm putting on Reaping first because I have plenty of haste and invis up right now. And by plenty, this is like 4 turns of haste. Or haste we have longer. This is like 6 turns of invis, but it feels like a lot when you have haste and you can recover at every fight. And there's a fight right next to us. So let's throw on Reaping. And I'm going to reapply haste first and then invis here. We're going to go ahead and hit that guy. Whoa. Oh, grappling enemies must have more hit points. Interesting. He's wandering again. Get the kill that time. Haste Charm not quite recharged. Yeah, I might have brought this up to +3 if I did get that other ring, or that other enchant scroll. Oh, that just revealed a door for us. Let's see what's behind it. Viz. Haste. Tentacle Horse is hunting. Alright, now you're wandering. Splat. Well, everything's recharged. I can keep awareness on. Got my haste. Did I not put haste up? Let's put that back up. When you recover haste, I need to fight this golem, so I may as well put Viz on. I gotta use that auto swap more, get the reaping back on. Pop. And I'm gonna go to this door so we can grab this lumenstone. Oh shoot, my stuff isn't charged up that well. I'm low rolling reaping more often than expected. What is water doing up there? Oh, is that out of my line of sight? I just haven't updated that tile again. No, it doesn't say you remember. It says there is sloshing water up there. Does that mean something saw me up here and has been hunting me? Because enemies only step on traps when they're hunting? That's interesting. Well, I think I need to blink down here and get another whack at this golem. Now everything's recharged. And I think I will go... Just kill you? Oh my god. Why did I bother? This way? There's nothing here. So we're gonna pop in Viz and haste again. Dude's hunting, so I'm gonna blink away from him. And I think I need to hit this guy to recharge now. Cool, we're fully charged. I'll leave those guys alive. They're actually pretty darn valuable for staying charged. Actually need to do right away. Oh, come on, dude. Let me get the golems. So blink pretty nice for maneuvering around here. Oh, you actually hit me? Blinking charges at 4. Just blink away from you. Can I avoid the warden though? Barely. All right, we want to equip awareness when we're exploring unexplored territory. Should probably have regen on too. But I feel relatively safe. So we're looking for one more lumenstone on this floor. It's probably down here by the looks of it. So let's go ahead and pop invis, haste. Okay, these guys were sleeping actually. I can blink down here. I just want to get this guy to break his hunting AI. I want to kill that battle mage first actually, so let me blink down here even. Oh my god. I was a little concerned about hitting a trap. Shoot. You know what sucks? I think in this turn, liches that I can't see could probably summon phantoms, which would be really annoying. I wonder if that's possible or not. Okay. Well, I have stealth range 1, so everything should forget about me immediately. I should be able to come back. Go ahead and equip my reaping ring again. Are you still sleeping? No? Why aren't you moving? Now you know where I am. Come on, I need to punch something. Wandering. Perfect. Caught it unaware. Everything's recharged. Well, the blinking staff takes more, but all my charms are. Let's get away from this dude now. If I can. I think I just gotta work through all of these guys. This staff probably has a charge. So this won't go into lava. Nope. Fizzled. I'm just gonna take some hits from this dude. Oh, I didn't reuse my stuff. Battle Mage is still wandering. Now it's hunting. So I pop invis. I feel like we're playing a little sloppy here. There's obviously clearly some things we could be doing better. But even with that, you can see like how good this build can be. That golem reset to wandering. There's the last lumenstone on this depth. Let's go ahead and grab that. Then we can just go back to this exit. It's probably best to go through this way. More enemies have probably spawned out here. You're wandering, I'll just pop you. And there's also like a lot of golems around here, so we can like just keep refreshing haste and invis, I think. Oh, this guy's still here. Okay, rehaste, reinvis. Everyone's wandering. Just gotta be careful of these traffic jams. Just gonna wait for this battle mage. Cool, you're down. His charm isn't quite back yet. Move here. Now, can I just blink past you guys? Actually, I should re-invis. Back up. Rehaste. Get a recharge off of you. You forgot about me. Cool. Everything's recharged. Now I just need a blink path, which the warden just opened up for me. Beautiful. And do I just want to blink across the lava, actually? I'm getting paranoid about that alarm trap, waking up a lich, summoning phantoms, and bumping into a phantom over the lava. But I'm invis and hasted. Like, it feels like a good use of a blink charge. Just go ahead and do it. We got 3 lumenstones from 27, 28. I was going to do 27, 28, 29. I feel like that showcases the build pretty well. I wanted to do it with telepathy just to show how much easier this is with telepathy. I also kind of want to save those to try for 25 lumenstones. So maybe we'll do that later, or I'll continue later. I might pick this up on stream or something, and maybe we'll play this. But this video is getting longer than I even want it to be, so I want to call it here. I hope that was educational. I had a really good time talking about like all the little, you know, number things that like went into this build, and like where the enchants go, and like why the build works. And I hope it was like very like demonstrative about like how the WarHammer gets like the instant kills, and that like really reduces your danger by like reducing the chance that you like don't kill things, even though it's like 1 damage roll like on the thing. And you know, just how the reaping combos to like keep these things up. And I think the part where like you're just like using haste and invis to like kill things and recharge, and then reusing it like right away, and then blinking into things but like before they run out, that's the part that like I feel like you really need to try, or at least see, to understand. Well, not to understand, but to like get a good feel for it. Like, I didn't appreciate like how little like invis turns we actually needed with haste and blinking on this build until I like played it for myself. So I definitely wanted to showcase that. But yeah, that's a WarHammer reaping like invis slash like charms build. So I don't think this kind of build like exists on YouTube yet, so that's kind of the reason I wanted to do it. Some people like were asking a lot of questions about it when I ran it in the contest, and I wanted to see it, so I thought this would be a good opportunity to like actually like pull up Excel and like show some math and do fun stuff like that. So I hope you enjoyed that. If you want to see more stuff like this, it's the first YouTube only upload I've had. Like, it wasn't like a stream bod in a while. I've got a lot more stuff of this in mind, but if you want to see more stuff like this, let me know. If you have any like, I guess like requests and such, let me know. But otherwise, I'm heading out for now. Thank you all so much for watching. I'll catch you next time.